I decided for the thumbnail it's best that they just sit there and pray that they don't crush me while I film this. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel, where we talk about all things books, all bookish. This is my full reads and my full recommendations. I've been really excited to film this, like way more than usual, because I've said previously in some of my videos that filming TBRs and wrap-ups isn't really my thing, but I've been enjoying it quite a bit lately. So here we are. Also, the window is slightly open and it is blowing 41-mile-an-hour winds in the UK today, so you may well hear some ambient sounds. I don't think it's gonna be loud enough to go over my own voice, but we will see, because she's unpredictable in the UK, but we love her. Mother Earth needs to do her thing. Here we have a big collection of books, and I have to say that this isn't quite the full lot, because I have in my brain and also in my Amazon basket some other books that I wish to buy either next month or the foreseeable months till the end of the year, that I will be reading in the full season. So right here we have 11 books. It's a pretty decent amount. I think I can maybe get through some of them. These aren't, like I've said, these aren't all the books I want to read during fall. Oh, I just realised I forgot one. One sec. She's pretty big. Right, so now we have, do I have to count again? Yes, I do. So there's 13 here, and I have more books that I want to buy, like I've already said. Some are complete series. I think you know what I'm talking about. Some individual. Right, here we go. On my September TBR, I have Earth Sky. Got some lovely tabs right here. Not Earth Sky. Earth Sea by Ursula K. Le Guin. As I am filming this, as you are seeing this, I am currently reading this for a bookish vlog. Also, spoiler.
Well, not spoiler, but surprise.
On my channel, I am just going to be doing bookish vlogs, reading vlogs, writing vlogs from now on, because it's way more simple. Basically bookish vlogs, because that means I can combine all of them together. Of course, you will still see wrap-ups, TBRs, recommendations, but we're going to stick to bookish vlogs because that's what you guys love to see and that's what I love to film. So as you are watching this, I am reading this. I am very excited to get into this. It has been on, I think it's been 3 monthly TBRs at this point, but I am finally getting to it. And also, the wind's just closed my window. Wow. That was a strong one. Completely lost my train of thought. Tabs. These are really nice tabs, and I'm going to be tabbing this book and annotating it. I really can't wait, because I have had an amazing time annotating Fear Street. Now, another book that I'm thinking I'm probably going to reread for this full season is The Goldfinch. I have already read this book. It is a hard literary fiction, and I also combined some of my tabs that match perfectly this book. I mean, how perfect is that colour palette? I wish I did have a darker green, but I don't. This is what we'll do, and I think it's gorgeous. I can't wait to reread this. When I read this to start with, I think I hadn't started my booktube channel at that point. It took me 2 months to read this, but I'm still really glad that I did, because there's scenes in this book that still stick in my brain and I still think about it. When I think about cozy, atmospheric, like you're there reading experiences, I'm thinking of this book these days. It really is quite... There's a lot of descriptive writing, which is great, but it also makes you go through the main character's emotions quite extensively. So maybe like check some trigger warnings. It's honestly a brilliant book, and I can't wait to read more of Donna Tartt's work. This is the first book of hers that I have read, and it's very big, but it was a wonderful experience. And to be honest, I am really excited to go back into this world, because it was just, obviously, like, it's kind of the world that we live in today, but through the eyes of someone that goes through a lot but also appreciates the little things. So it's about a 13-year-old boy called Theo who goes through a really difficult tragedy. Him and his mum are in a art gallery, art museum. Yeah, it doesn't really say. It's set in New York as well, by the way, so perfect vibes. After him and his mum are in an art gallery, there is a really terrible catastrophe that results in his mum passing away, and long story short, he is left with this painting. That is not a spoiler. He is left with the goldfinch. Somehow it ends up in his hands, and it is basically his lifelong journey of figuring out what to do with this stolen piece of artwork. I never knew that it could be written so powerfully, so please check this out if you're interested in literary fiction, and just take your time with the book. There's no need to rush books that we enjoy. That we just need to take it in and enjoy every single word on the page. Books weren't meant to be rushed. Books were meant to be savoured and pulled apart and thought about, and that is not a rushing process. So yeah. And now this is a book.
Yes, this is a book.
This is a classic, Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. The reason I basically want to read this is because I have more or less read all of my other classics that I have this year, which I am very happy with. I read Persuasion a couple years ago by Jane Austen. I read Vanity Fair by William Thackeray this year. That was quite an experience, and I did really enjoy it. I have also previously read The Picture of Dorian Gray. That again is a brilliant book you need to read this year. Just added that one on top of the list. And so this is one of the last ones in my collection. So I thought, why not? To be entirely honest, I have no idea what this book is about. So I'm going in blind, and I'm kind of excited for that. And the first sentence in this, on the blurb, is quite something. Adultery is not a typical Jane Austen theme, but when it disturbs the relatively peaceful household at Mansfield Park, it has quite unexpected results.
She's here for the drama in this one.
Can I not wait to read this? No, I do want to read this. I 100% think it's possible, because, by the way, I really don't have many physical books. I have a few more, but these are the ones. It's not going to take me long to go through these, I think, by the sounds of things. Anyway, looking forward to read this. Already feeling like this video is all over the place. Maybe coffee will help. That's a good cup of coffee. I may as well bring both of these two down, because you know what they are. We have Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. I am currently reading Keeping 13. I rated Binding 13 a 5-star. Was shocked at that. It is in my August wrap-up, I think. Yeah, loved the book, and so I'm reading Keeping 13. I really want, to be honest, like a few solid days to read Keeping 13 and just nothing else. I'm hoping I can read it before the end of the month, so that means I have like 4 days. I think I can do it. I mean, I do have a lot of reading planned for the rest of the month, so yeah, I really want to read both of these by the end of the year. You know the gist. Very excited about those. And speaking about series, I have read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, the first book, and I do want to read the rest of the ACOTAR series. I had my hands in the air about whether or not to continue that series, because I'm not a spice person. I don't enjoy reading it, but the plot intrigued me so much. I really want to know what happens. And I think since I've started ACOTAR and it is fantasy, I know that it would be perfect for the fall season and for the end of the year. I just think it would be so great to read more of her books, because obviously I'm like 99% sure they're going to be 5-star reads, because that was an entire experience reading that book. And so because I enjoyed reading A Court of Thorns and Roses so much, I also want to read the Throne of Glass series. Whether or not I'm going to read Throne of Glass or Assassin's Blade first, I have not made up my mind. If you please leave your opinions down below in the comments, because I'm basically clueless. I know very roughly the premise of the series, but I have no clue at all what happens. And I know that there's some strong opinions as to whether or not you read Throne of Glass or Assassin's Blade first. So please tell me what to do, because I don't know which one I should start with and which one would work well for me. So please help a girl out, please. I'm just a girl that needs book girlies and book guys to help her. So I want to read those series. Crescent City is very much on my mind, but I'm more focused on Throne of Glass and ACOTAR right now. Daniel Deronda by George Eliot. I saw this in a bookshop in August when I went on holiday with my husband, and it's just it's a gorgeously floppy book. And so of course I just want to be fully immersed in this reading experience, and I am all for reading Penguin classics. I honestly really enjoy Penguin classics, and I've been enjoying my classic era, I suppose, because I read Vanity Fair this year, and I'm currently reading Emma, and I'm going to read Mansfield Park. And I adored The Picture of Dorian Gray. That was a 5-star. And so when I saw this gorgeous Penguin edition, I had to pick it up. I don't really know too much of what it's about, very little to be honest, and I'm kind of happy going in blind for this book. I'll read you the first little quote on the blurb. To say that Deronda was romantic would be to misrepresent him, but under his calm and somewhat self-repressed exterior there was a fervour. Very interesting, and again I think this is one of the books where you shouldn't rush it. You shouldn't ever rush your reading experience, by the way, because that just takes away from what the writer wants from you as the reader. So yeah, anyway, ran over. Want to read this, very excited for it, of course. And now we have Fear Street by R.L. Stine. I am almost finished this book. I have like 70 pages to go, and by the time you are watching this video, I will have finished it. This is coming up in my next video, a bookish vlog. Please keep your eyes peeled for that. So many thoughts, and I don't want to give them too much because I'm going to talk about them in my September wrap up. So just fantastic, so far fantastic. If you want to have a silly goofy time reading a book that's like, ooh, but it's not horror, but it very much gives like the atmospheric feels. There have been times in reading this that I've been like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen next? But I've not been like terrified to go to sleep at night. Please check it out, it is really good. And if you are someone that enjoys like a mystery thriller, but you're too scared to dip your toe into horror like me, then I think you will really enjoy this, because I have had the most immaculate time reading this book, and I really want others to have the same experience. If you like what you see, keep your eyes peeled for my next video. Another book that I would like to read in the fall season is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It sounds so intriguing, and I very much want to experience that story to the max. Other books that are on my radar are If We Were Villains, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, The Lost Bookshop. I am lacking storage. My phone doesn't like me right now, so I need to hurry up. Oh my goodness, what was I even saying? Off the top of my head, those were the books that I really want to read come the fall season. I'm sure there is more, but those are my immediate ones that I'm thinking about. If you have not read this book, what on earth are you doing? I see that Fredrik Backman is blowing up loads right now. I was there before you, okay? In 2016, I bought this book, and it was my first ever 5-star read experience. I could not put this down. It made me laugh out loud, it made me cry, and it did kind of ignite my love for literature again, and slowly as the years went on, I realised that this is what I want to do. And this book is beautiful, it's perfect. It's called My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologises. This book is so funny, and it is very relatable in such daft ways, and I want to reread this at the end of the year because it was just an amazing experience. And I'm honestly surprised that when it comes to like Fredrik Backman's top books of like what people are reading these days, this isn't one of them. But you need to pick this up because this is so good. When it comes to my friends and family and they ask like what should I read, this is where I point in their direction because it's not terribly long. Yeah, it's like 340 pages. It's a relatable story, it's sweet, it's funny, and it really hits right here. It's so good. Please read it for the love of Bob, because I want more people to talk about this book. I can't be the only one out here raving about this one by Fredrik Backman. So I'm going to reread this, and you should read it yourself in the fall season. It very much gives those atmospheric feels, because I remember when I read that, I was in the Caribbean. Yeah, amazing. I was in the Caribbean, but in reading that I got a bit homesick of like the UK gloomy weather and the little characteristics of like walking around like an English town and English mannerisms. Yeah, so it is a brilliant book to read in fall. And now we have a couple books that are new that I've just bought, and I cannot wait to read these. The Cutthroat Cafe by Nikki Thornton. This looks fantastic. On Amazon it said that this was directed towards the ages of 9 to 12. The font's pretty large and it has brilliant illustrations. Look at that. Part 2. It just looks like a brilliant, light-hearted, fun time. It's about a young boy called Seth who is trying to solve a murder or multiple murders that happen in the Scrumdiddlyumptious cafe, and he has a talking cat named Nightshade. If that doesn't convince you enough, then you're maybe in the wrong place, babe, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to reading this, and it's also a book in a series. Well, is it a series? No, it's not a series, but she does have 2 other books on the back of this one that you can also check out. The Last Chance Hotel and The Bad Luck Lighthouse. So if I enjoy this, I will probably get those books, but I'm very excited to read this because it's a gorgeous front cover, and I don't see anyone talking about it, but it just looks like it's going to be the perfect fun time for this time of year, and I can't wait to read that. I'm very excited. Speaking of cafes, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. You see this everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's got to be worth the hype. I haven't read it yet, but I am very excited. I have started watching Gilmore Girls and I am loving it. Of course, this time of year is just perfect. I was even, when me and my husband went on a road trip the other day, I noticed that a load of the leaves were orange already, and I was thinking, isn't that like a little bit early? But at the same time, I don't want to complain. But what I do need to do is get out there and enjoy some autumnal walks, because yeah, I need to get out there and enjoy the blustering windy weather and the rain and the crunchy leaves. I need to enjoy all of it, and in the meantime I think this book is going to help with all of that. I can't wait to read it. It looks like such a lovely, light-hearted time. Now moving on to things that aren't so light-hearted. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have wanted to read this for 3 years now, and I finally got the edition that I wanted. This is the hardback 30th anniversary edition, and it is like soft matte. You do get like marks on it, but to be honest, I don't care. It's just gorgeous, and it comes with a bookmark. How wonderful is that? This edition is stunning, and I cannot wait to read this. I am excited and nervous. I am going to be vlogging my time basically reading all of these books, by the way. So if you want to see like my thoughts and my experience with these amazing juicy stories, then please subscribe to my channel. Please, because I would love to have you here. I will appreciate you. You are welcome. This is your home. We all know what The Secret History is about. The first sentence of this book that I would read in the bookshop without buying the book would always get me. When the mountains was melting and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation. The drama was needed. Yeah, perfect. Can't wait to read that, of course. And now we have a couple books that I have read. One I will reread, and one I think you should read during the full season. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I had a gorgeous time reading this book, and if you want to see my experience, I vlogged it very early on in my YouTube journey, so please bear that in mind. Be kind. I loved reading this, and it's such a beautiful, unique story. Look at this. Now that I think about it, it's a little bit bare, but that's just because I kind of went ham on Fear Street. But anyway, this was a wonderful time, and it is very atmospheric, very moody, and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Mysterious? Yeah, it's not quite what I was thinking, but we'll go with it. It is mysterious. Oh, words. This was like a 4.5 star. Honestly, it kind of is a 5 star, because at the end of this book I was like, wow, that did end up to be exactly how I wanted it to be, but it still surprised me. I'm sorry if I'm speaking in riddles here. But a richly imagined, intricate tale of magic and intrigue set against the backdrop of Spain's golden age. You couldn't get like a more unique setting if you tried, and this is the first book that I've ever read by Leigh Bardugo, and it was wonderful. She's very talented, and I'm looking forward to reading more of her other books because of this. Also, the love story from this was just like, that made me feel things that I didn't know was possible from a book. I was gonna say like Chloe Walsh Binding 13 packs a punch, but it's different because it's not set in that time at all. This is a very different time, but it's beautiful, it's perfect. I loved it so much. Please read it. And last but certainly not least, Sherlock Holmes. This is my edition of Sherlock Holmes. I did think about annotating and tabbing it a few days ago, but I don't think I can do that it is like damaged, and now that I look back, I wish I love a worn book because it looks like it's been loved, you know, but because it's like got these little marks, it does make me sad. But Sherlock Holmes, there is some stunning illustrations in this edition. It is gorgeous. I don't know if you can still pick this up, but my mum bought it for me and I have read all of the complete stories. It was quite an experience. I didn't realise there was actually so many illustrations in this book. Yeah, I do want to reread this. Specifically, I want to reread The Hound of the Baskervilles, because that is top tier cold weather feels of a story, and that is all the books that I would like to read in the fall season, or that I recommend you read in the fall season. Off the top of my head, I don't think there's any other ones. I have talked a lot about books and I am ready to shut up now and let you go to your Amazon and add books to your basket. I hope my coffee isn't cold. Oh, that's brilliant. It's gotten darker in here as I have filmed this video. I hope that's not bothered you too much. It has not bothered me. I love it. It's so cozy. Right, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and please subscribe. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for you, and if you're not there, I'll miss you. Next video coming up is a bookish vlog where I finish reading Fear Street as well as some other books, so stay tuned for that. Love you a lot, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!